Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi leaves from France, headed to the US for the much-anticipated second leg of his tour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, French President Emmanuel Macron jointly inaugurate India's new consulate in the historic French city of Marseille. And Donald Trump's new defense chief holds his first meeting with NATO allies, pressures EU to ramp up support for Ukraine. Let's begin the bulletin with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's France visit. After his successful visit to France, Prime Minister Modi has now departed for the next leg of his tour to the United States of America, where he will be holding talks with President Donald Trump. Before departing, Prime Minister Modi was accorded a Guard of Honor in Marseille, where he was accompanied by French President Emmanuel Macron. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President of France Emmanuel Macron earlier jointly visited the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor in Cadarache. This was the first visit by any head of state or head of government to ITER, one of the most ambitious fusion energy projects in the world today. During the visit, the leaders appreciated the progress of ITER, including the assembly of the world's largest tokamak, where ultimately 500 megawatt of fusion power will be produced by creating, containing and controlling burning plasma. India is among the 7 ITER members contributing to the project over the last 2 decades. Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron met and interacted with the members of the Indian diaspora in Marseille. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a heartwarming welcome by the Indian diaspora outside the newly inaugurated Indian Consulate in Marseille. The Indian Consulate was jointly inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India and French President Emmanuel Macron. India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri highlighted the 2 key components of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to France during a press briefing. He stated that the visit included the AI summit in Paris, which Prime Minister Narendra Modi co-chaired, along with a bilateral component spanning both Paris and Marseille. The Secretary emphasized that the past 2 days have been packed with high-level engagements, reflecting the strength of India-France relations.
The current visit of the Prime Minister has 2 components. As you are aware, he was here to co-chair the Artificial Intelligence Action, AI Action Summit in Paris yesterday. And then there was a bilateral component to the visit, both in Paris and in Marseille yesterday as well as today. The last couple of days have been packed with a number of engagements.
India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri further highlighted the bilateral component of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to France, which began with Prime Minister Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron jointly addressing the India-France CEO Forum.
Bilateral component of the visit started with the 2 leaders jointly addressing the India-France CEOs Forum. The Prime Minister acknowledged the key role being played by business leaders in both countries in bringing our 2 countries closer together and promoting our bilateral relations. He gave an overview of the next generation of economic reforms that's being pursued in India, invited French companies to explore new opportunities in the India growth story.
On to Asia now. China's military conducted naval and air patrols around Taiwan on Wednesday for combat readiness following U.S. Navy ships' transit through the Taiwan Strait earlier this week. The drills were shown on Chinese state TV with the naval ships and fighter jets in action. China reacted angrily to the U.S. mission, saying that it raised security risks. The U.S. Navy regularly transits the strait, which China claims as its own, while Taiwan's defense ministry reported the situation was normal. Taiwan remains a potential flashpoint in U.S.-China tensions. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth arrived in Brussels as part of a week-long trip to Germany, Belgium and Poland. During his visit, Hegseth is set to attend a NATO defense ministers meeting in Brussels, where defense spending is expected to be a key focus. According to the Defense Secretary, Hegseth seeks to strengthen deterrence, support for war fighters and advancing national security interests. New U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth held his first meeting with NATO allies on Wednesday to push European nations to ramp up military spending and support for Ukraine. Washington's allies look for clarity from U.S. President Donald Trump's administration after the volatile leader demanded that NATO should more than double its spending target and vowed to end the war in Ukraine. Hegseth's 2 days of talks in Brussels with his counterparts from NATO and Ukraine are part of a flurry of visits to Europe this week by the top U.S. officials. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth also met with his British counterpart John Healey. This meeting is part of Hegseth's week-long trip to Germany, Belgium and Poland, where he's engaging with U.S. and allied leaders to strengthen deterrence, support war fighters and advance America's national security interests. The Ukraine Defense Contact Group is also meeting in Brussels on Wednesday, chaired by British Secretary of State for Defense John Healey. Updates on the Ukraine-Russia conflict now. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance on Friday at the Munich Security Conference, where they are set to discuss Washington's push for an end to the three-year conflict with Russia. The U.S. delegation to the top European Security Conference taking place between February 14th and 16th will also include Secretary of State Marco Rubio and President Trump's special envoy for Ukraine and Russia, Keith Kellogg. Meanwhile, ahead of the meeting, Zelensky offered land swaps in negotiations with Russia. The offer comes as Russia freed an American prisoner, Mark Fogel, a school teacher, after being held captive since August 2021. Fogel got a flag-waving welcome from U.S. President Donald Trump at a snowy White House on Tuesday after a flight home from Moscow. Thanking Putin, Trump said that Fogel's release could be a big, important part of ending the Russia-Ukraine conflict. You're watching DD India Live, still to come on the show. Millions of devotees gather for the Magh Purnima Snan as part of the Grand Maha Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj.
Clean energy is the future for sure. We are still not able to produce enough energy through renewable sources yet. But why is it so, and how can we change that?
We introduced solar-powered street lights, cutting consumption by 5%. Then I had the government build green homes fitted with solar panels, making us more energy independent.
The panels contain a lot of rare commodities, and you can save a lot of energy if you use recycled materials.
We run off hydropower or wind power, so the electricity we have is sustainable and renewable. So of course that's the most sustainable we can do.
When it transforms and translates into results that is tangible, they can see the difference that it makes to their environment. It's a huge thing.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I am Tanvi Taneja. This year's Pariksha Pe Charcha, this is a student outreach program of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This featured a special episode on mental health and well-being with Bollywood actress Deepika Padukone engaging with students in the second episode. Deepika talked about the significance of mental well-being, particularly in the context of education. She emphasized the need to handle stress and shared some tips to be followed during the exams with the students. In addition to Deepika Padukone, several other notable personalities, including Bollywood stars Vikrant Marseille and Bhumi Pednekar, spiritual leader Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev and Indian boxer Mary Kom will participate in the event. Prime Minister Modi launched the 8th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha on Monday, an interaction with students. This was held at Delhi's iconic Sundar Nursery, where Prime Minister of India shared tips with students on managing exam stress, the benefits of meditation, and also gave them some leadership tips. On the sidelines of Aero India, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh held bilateral meetings. The Defence Minister met his Zimbabwean counterpart Opa Mushingire Kashire and signed an MOU to enhance bilateral defence cooperation. Rajnath Singh conducted the meeting with Yemen's Defence Minister Lieutenant General Mohsen Mohammad Hussein Al-Dairi. The Indian Defence Minister also held a meeting with Ethiopia's Defence Minister Aisha Mohammed and signed an MOU to institutionalize their growing defence relationship. With Gambian Defence Minister Sering Moduo Nie, Rajnath Singh committed to strengthening cooperation, underlining opportunities for collaboration in the defence industry. Lastly, in discussions with Gabon's Defence Minister Brigitte Okanova, both leaders focused on training and capability enhancement, aiming to deepen defence cooperation further. Speaking at the valedictory event of the Aero India 2025 in Karnataka's Bengaluru, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh spoke about the unparalleled and historic heights of Aero India 2025 as well as the journey of India in attaining self-reliance in defence production.
विश्व के प्रमुख एयर शो में से एक एरो इंडिया आप सबके सहयोग से जिन ऊंचाइयों को छू रहा है वह अनपैरेलल्ड ही नहीं है बल्कि मैं कहना चाहूंगा वह हिस्टोरिक है। प्राइवेट सेक्टर टोटल डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन में वर्तमान में 21% की भागीदारी के साथ हमारे आत्मनिर्भरता के लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने की दिशा में बढ़-चढ़कर हिस्सा ले रहा है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will meet US President Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. in the second leg of his two-nation tour. DD India's Shubhendu Ghosh speaks exclusively to Dr. Mukesh Aghi, CEO of US-India Strategic Partnership Forum. The organization works extensively with business and government leaders in the US and India to promote trade and strengthen ties between the two countries.
Anticipation is high ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming visit to the United States. I have with me Dr. Mukesh Aghi, President and CEO of United States-India Strategic Partnership Forum. It's an institution that furthers the business interests of US and Indian entrepreneurs. Dr. Aghi, welcome to DD India.
Thank you.
Now, it's the first time that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump are meeting after the new Trump administration took power. What are the expectations of the business and trade community on both sides about this visit?
Well, you have to understand this is the first month of President Trump's second-term presidency. And more important is you have a Prime Minister who's coming off the win in New Delhi. And in fact, he's won almost every election except one or two states itself. So he also has a momentum behind him. I think you have to understand they're coming to see how they can set the agenda for the next 4 years between the two countries. The discussions are going to be on geopolitics. It's going to be on economics. It's going to be on technology trade. It's going to be energy security. It's going to be on people to people. So it's a very broad agenda.
If you were to talk about the areas of opportunity and the areas of challenges, if any, what would those be? Because there are a lot of concern around tariffs with the Trump administration.
The US companies are looking at access to the Indian market. And classic example is Apple. 3 years ago didn't have much revenue in India. Today it has crossed $5 billion in domestic revenue. They're also looking at de-risking from supply chain from China. Today, 25% of the Apple 16 phones are produced. Its exports from India has crossed over $12 billion. So other companies are looking at Apple and saying, we also need to learn how to de-risk and gain access to the Indian market. So the community, the business leadership on the US side is looking from that perspective. I think from an India side, what companies are saying is, yes, we need to leverage more US pharma market. Today, 40% of the prescriptions are written in the US, the drugs comes from India.
How have you seen US-India relations mature and progress in the past decade?
Every president has looked at India strategically. Every president has looked at India from an opportunity perspective. And what they have come out is that India is a partner you can trust. India is a partner you can work with. But more important is what we have seen this Prime Minister Modi, has raised the bar of India's stature and partnership with the American president itself.
On that note, thank you, Dr. Aghi, for speaking with DD India. That was Dr. Mukesh Aghi speaking about the opportunities and possibilities that lie ahead for both business communities from India and the United States. With camera person Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Washington, D.C.
And next, all the latest from the Maha Kumbh, the largest religious congregation in the world. Millions of devotees thronged the ghats of the Triveni Sangam in the North Indian city of Prayagraj to take a holy dip on the occasion of Magh Purnima on Wednesday. Magh Purnima is a holy occasion for bathing in the Triveni Sangam, the confluence of rivers Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. It is believed that taking a holy dip on this full moon day cleanses the soul, washes away one's sins and brings blessings from the divine. Nearly 16 million have taken the holy dip at Sangam Nose on Wednesday, and over 462 million have participated in the sacred ritual so far. With today's holy dip, the month-long Kalpavas will conclude and nearly 1 million Kalpavasis will begin departing from the Maha Kumbh. More news from India. The country's net direct tax collection grew 14.69% to over 17.78 lakh crore rupees so far in the current fiscal 2024-25. According to data released by the Central Board of Direct Taxes, the mop-up from the net non-corporate taxes, which include mainly personal income tax, grew 21% year-on-year to about 9.48 lakh crore rupees. The net corporate tax collection rose more than 6% to over 7.78 lakh crore rupees between April 1st, 2024 and February 10th, 2025. The net collections from securities transaction tax jumped 65% to 49,201 crore rupees in the fiscal year 2025 so far. Refunds worth over 4.10 lakh crore rupees were issued during the period. The Newari community of Nepal has a unique tradition of women's empowerment called Bel Vivah, through which women are freed from religious and social seclusion due to widowhood. Bel Vivah is a spiritual and cultural practice that is incorporated in the Newari community to prevent a woman from being discriminated upon during religious ceremonies if her human husband passes away. Here's the report from our special correspondent in Kathmandu.
In Kathmandu Valley, hundreds of girls aged between 5 to 9 were traditionally wed to wood apple fruit representing Lord Vishnu in the ceremony called Bel Vivah. It is an important ritual in Newar community of Kathmandu Valley where young Newari girls are symbolically married to a bel fruit. This practice highlights the deep-rooted tradition of the Newar community, blending spirituality, social customs and cultural heritage. The baled fruit, which never rots, represent Lord Vishnu. By marrying the fruit, the girl is symbolically married to the deity, ensuring lifelong protection and freedom from widowhood. Since the girl is married to a deity, she is never considered a widow, even if her future human husband passes away. This provides social security and religious dignity to Newari women. The girl undertakes a ceremonial bath and dresses up like a bride. On an auspicious date, a priest called Gubhaju performs the wedding ceremony and offers tika to the bride. The wedding is performed traditionally with Hindu marriage rituals, with the bale fruit placed as the groom. Mantras are chanted and rituals such as Kanyadan are performed. Bale Vivah is the first of 3 marriages in a Newar woman's life. The second symbolic marriage is Gufa Rakhne, where the girl is kept in seclusion and later symbolically married to the sun. The third marriage is to a human husband. Shweta Singh for DD India, Kathmandu.
And next we take a look at other stories making news around the world. The World Health Organization has launched a new program called the Global Platform for Access to Childhood Cancer Medicines. This initiative aims to provide free cancer medications to thousands of children in low and middle income countries. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano erupted again on Tuesday night, spewing lava and creating stunning displays against the dark sky. The eruption is Kilauea's 9th since it became active again in December. The lava fountains reached heights of around 100 meters, covering a quarter of the crater floor. Residents of Porto Alegre in southern Brazil are dealing with an extreme heat wave, with temperatures reaching a scorching 40 degrees Celsius. The persistent weather pattern have led to record-breaking heat, causing significant discomfort for the city's inhabitants. And on to sporting action from India. Haryana's men's netball team delivered a dominant performance at the National Games 2025, showcasing their skill and teamwork. In an exclusive conversation with DD India's Narayan Singh, the players credited their success to various government initiatives.
Right now we are at the netball arena here in Uttarakhand, where the netball events are taking place, and I am joined by the team Haryana in the netball event. First, I am joined by Sachin, who is the netball pro for Haryana. Sachin, the way things are happening, the way Haryana has dominated the event of netball since 2011, winning the gold medal, how you look this domination of Haryana?
हमारा डोमिनेशन लगातार 2011 से नेशनल चैंपियनशिप और नेशनल गेम में लगातार चला आ रहा है. इसका कारण है हमारी स्टेट एसोसिएशन हरियाणा नेटबॉल एसोसिएशन, और उसके पीछे सबसे बड़ा हाथ है हमारे प्रेसिडेंट श्री हरिओम कौशिक जी का, जो हमारा हर सभी बच्चों का, प्लेयर्स का ध्यान रखते हैं, उनकी कोचिंग का, डाइट का प्रॉपर कैंप्स लगाते हैं, और उसी मेहनत का नतीजा है कि हम लगातार 2011 से चाहे कोई चैंपियनशिप हो, नेशनल चैंपियनशिप, सीनियर नेशनल, जूनियर नेशनल और नेशनल गेम्स, उसमें डोमिनेशन कर रहे हैं.
Deepak, talking about overall Haryana, the athletes from Haryana, they are continuously winning the medal at the international level, Olympics, Asian Games, Commonwealth Games. So many players, even Neeraj Chopra is from there. So why Haryana is so good in athletics, in sports?
जो हमारा दूध दही का खाना हरियाणा, और जो हमारा दूध दही का खाना है वो मेहनत करनी सिखाता है, और जो हमारा देसी खाना है वही हमें कड़ी मेहनत सिखाता है, और हम कड़ी मेहनत करके ही मेडल तक पहुंचते हैं. और जो हमारे जो पेरेंट्स होते हैं वो भी बोलते हैं छोटे से बच्चे को भी आप मेहनत करो, और मेहनत का फल है जो हमारे आज तक गोल्ड मेडल हरियाणा जीत रहा है. गवर्नमेंट भी अच्छा सपोर्ट करती है. जैसे मैं जूनियर कोच की पोस्ट पे लगा हूँ, 2015 में नेशनल गेम खेला था, उसी के बेस पे मेरे को हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट ने जूनियर कोच की पोस्ट दी है.
Robin, overall you have been there for many days in Uttarakhand, so you must have seen the infrastructure raised here by the government, and also the way things are happening, world class hospitality. So what's your take on it? इसको कैसे देखते हैं आप?
ये उत्तराखंड सरकार के इतने कम टाइम में इतने अच्छी प्रोवाइड करवाई हैं सभी सर्विसेज. ग्राउंड है, आप इंटरनेशनल लेवल के होते हैं सभी वुडन कोर्ट्स, एंड एक ही जगह सारे गेम्स एक ही जगह एक ही स्टेट में करवाना सबसे बड़ी उपलब्धि है. और रही बात अकोमोडेशन इज वेरी गुड एंड फूड क्वालिटी एंड हर चीज़ है यहाँ. Food is too good.
Definitely here the players are happy the way the Uttarakhand government, the Uttarakhand Weekend Sports Association has hosted these games, and it's a good sign that in coming times Uttarakhand will soon dominate the sporting map of India. With camera person Uttam, Narayan Singh, DD India, Dehradun.
The first Indian female gymnast to compete at the Olympics, Deepa Karmarkar, shared her experience at the National Games in Uttarakhand. In an exclusive chat with DD India's Narayan Singh, she reflected on her journey as a gymnast and emphasized the significance of these national games as a platform for budding athletes.
The face of Indian gymnastics, Deepa Karmarkar, is right now with me. Deepa, a very warm welcome as you are here at the National Games to mentor the young gymnasts. So how was your experience here at the National Games?
First of all, I'm thankful. This is really good opportunity. After a long time, is after competition, then now I'm seeing the junior player. This is a really proud moment, and we are happy to. This is the atmosphere, equipment, and everything is too good. Really, I'm thankful. Uttarakhand, this is too much good atmosphere for giving the juniors. This really is. I hope they are focusing on 2026 CWG. Then after that, obviously 2020 is Los Angeles qualify, and I'm too much sure this time Indian team qualify for not team, also single participant also qualify for Olympics.
Deepa, you was the first one to be there in the Olympics for India during Rio, and it was a wonderful performance, and you missed the medal by a whisker. You have just mastered that Prodonova. So how you look having such a big achievement and being participated with Simona Biles?
This is a good, actually good experience. Not first time. Before I am also to 2015 World Championship. I was to qualify final in the vaulting table, and that time also I'm participate. Also Simone Biles, and she's the queen of Indian gymnastics. Not Indian, world gymnastics. She's a goat. Everyone will say, and really it's a good feelings for me. It's a lifetime feelings because after 0.15 of difference, I'm finished the fourth. This is the first time Indian woman to qualify after 52 years. Then final and finish the fourth place. This is a good, but after as an athlete, I'm just if I'm getting some more hard work, then I have got a medal.
There is a big potential in the India's young gymnast, and hoping if we have the mentors and coaches like Deepa, who we can say that put Indian gymnast on the world map. Definitely, days are not far when India will dominate in the gymnastics. With camera person Uttam, Narayan Singh, DD India, Dehradun.
So that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and the world on our DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.